Hi, Michaela. Pleasure to meet you. Big fan of your work and newly adopted fan of Hyype Space.
Very
Um,
cool.
I love how it's very open, very accommodating, and very kind of inspiring to get people to kind of get out there and try things. How did you get involved with the Hyype Space, and how did you want and what like drew you to it?
Yeah, they reached out over email, and I've gotten a couple people who've reached out who are like starting new apps or new projects. But Hyype Space just seemed like a really cool way to engage, specifically with Avatar fans as well, especially in kind of the anime convention space. I feel like there's always so much great cosplay, and there are like videographers and photographers running around during the weekends, and like people want to be involved in stuff. There's a lot of stand up and lots of kind of reenacting, and people make TikTok videos and all that stuff. So in order to like kind of make it more, I guess, of like a goal oriented challenge, it makes sense to have like Hyype Space as a funnel, I suppose, a platform to kind of have those challenges be seen. There's like a safe space, like you said. We make sure that things are appropriate, and so it can be kind of family friendly, and you're not going to be bullied or kind of come across maybe some uncomfortable content. So it's great if high schoolers, college students just want a safe, supportive space to interact with their favorite, possibly influencers, cosplayers, actors, or even just random friends that they find on the challenge app itself on Hyype Space, because anybody can create a challenge. So you can just be like, hey, I have this really cool idea. I want to make a challenge in, I don't know, just brick building. Like maybe somebody wants to build something cool in their backyard and like share it. Or maybe cosplayers, this is kind of where my head went, cosplayers down the line want to show like how they make belts, and they kind of share through the challenge how they kind of create their own cosplays, their own accessories, that sort of thing. So yeah, I just thought it was cool. It was a little bit of a different app than I had seen before. So I just wanted to hop in and be a part of it. So here we are.
You talk about how everyone created a challenge. I know you have the Toph challenge going on. I've seen some like just
Yes.
amazing digital editors throwing earthbending in there. Like
Yes.
it's like the quality is really good, like really amazing. Do you have any favorites so far that stuck out, like, or just like the most impressive ones that
Yeah.
just
So
couldn't believe they got that?
our first challenge this last month was a bending challenge. I figured out that was kind of a fun way to kick off my partnership with them, and it could be kind of anything you wanted. So my example, I tried to give like a couple. I was actually in Florida at the time, so I was like in some water, like throwing some water around, and then like pointing at some fire, trying to be a firebender. And they were just some really cool acrobatic submissions. And then we had a really cool waterbender where I think she made them herself. She kind of made like water attached to these little strings, and she was water bending. And then we did have a full Toph cosplay, which was very cool, doing some earth bending. So that one got the most love because she went all in, and she had the wig on and the headband and the full like season 2 garb. So she did a really great job. She was our winner of that challenge. And now actually we have a spooky spirit challenge going on for Halloween, where you just can share how you get into kind of the spooky season. So carved pumpkins or decorations, costumes, whatever. And it's not necessarily Avatar related. It's just like, hey, how do you celebrate Halloween? And share your favorite part of it.
Speaking of this, how do you celebrate Halloween, and what's like your favorite part about the holiday?
That is
Aside of maybe the costumes, just because
yeah,
we
I
talked about
definitely. The dressing up is very fun. Although I've tried to be good, because I feel like every year I get so excited about the potential of all the different costumes, and I like make myself not go out. And so I've just been kind of collecting, and now I just have like a big box full of costumes, and I'm like, okay, how could we make it a little bit different this year? I remember one year I did like a vampire Daisy from Great Gatsby. So I put on kind of like a cool little 20s thing with like a little blonde wig, and then I like gave myself a dead face and fangs. So that was really fun. I like to do like a little twist on things, or just be super cozy and wear like a penguin onesie or like a little bat zip up or something with little ears. Yeah, the costumes are definitely definitely up there. I also feel like I do actually like scary movies, and I like, mazes and going to like horror night things, that sort of thing. So yeah, I do actually like that a lot. And it's funny because now I feel like I've become a little judgmental. I'm like, this could have been better. Could have been scarier. But yeah, definitely the costumes. And I feel like all of the kind of horror walk through or mazes and things like that. I am kind of into that. So yeah.
What's the worst scare that you've gotten at one of the like it's the mazes or experiences?
Oh, um, you know, I feel like it was actually during like a corn maze, when you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere and there aren't any lights, so you can't see anything. I feel like those usually get me more than kind of the constructed mazes at like an official park, theme park somewhere, because you kind of know what you're getting yourself into beforehand because there's like a theme and an entrance. So you're like prepping yourself the whole time before you go in. Whereas when you go to like a random corn maze, sometimes like pumpkin patches have them or something like that. You don't really know how intense it's going to be and who they're going to have, and sometimes they don't even tell you like how close they can get to you, so you're like, oh, that's like a fun stuff. You don't know what you're going to get. So yeah, that's probably like I've gone to two of those where they've just really freaked me out because I had no idea how detailed and in depth they were. I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a little jump scare here and then, and it was way more intense than that. So they actually were tied to random farms and pumpkin patches and not even a specific park.
Uh, so the more home built ones tend to,
I
because
think so. Yeah. Because then there's less production, there's less lead up, there's less kind of, expectation of already knowing what you're going to get yourself into.
definitely see that. A little more about High Space. We have your Halloween challenge. Can we expect holiday challenges regularly from you?
Yeah, I think the goal is to kind of do one a month. We kind of did this flash Halloween challenge, just like a little week-long thing, just because, have to be in the spirit of Halloween. But yeah, next month, I mean, we're gonna probably look at a kind of a scene challenge. So like picking your favorite scene, your favorite lines, and maybe doing it with a friend, or maybe it's like a little monologue moment, whatever, just kind of your take on the Avatar script. That's probably going to be November. Maybe we'll do another like flash Thanksgiving, something that you're most thankful for, something like that. We'll see. It's still so new. So I'm talking with them about like, hey, what makes sense? And what were people interested in? Do they like the longer challenges? Do they like the shorter challenges? So it's kind of exciting because this week-long challenge that we're doing is the first kind of flash challenge. So maybe people will like that. So maybe we'll start doing kind of shorter challenges spread out, or maybe people like having the time to kind of think of something and, plan with friends. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have something very fun come December once all the holidays are coming around.
Awesome, looking forward to it. I want to talk a little bit about Toph. Toph, one the
Sure.
probably in my opinion, the coolest character of the series. Just yeah, the power, the confidence. If you like going into the road, were you prepped by like her presence, or was that something kind of just like that developed throughout?
Yeah, definitely developed. I was 11 at the time when I auditioned for her, and I just kind of took this script that there wasn't like an image of her with the script, so I just had the lines to go off of, and so I just was like, all right, she's super tough. She's fighting. It was the first scene, like the blind bandit scene when she's fighting, in Earth Rumble 6. And so I was like, all right, she's like this tough little fighter chick. Cool, I can do that. And thankfully, I think it was just naturally there. My mother will tell you that there wasn't much acting, and that the attitude came very naturally. So the stubbornness and kind of the tough grit of like I can do this by myself, like that very much was already in there. So I feel like it just kind of grew even more once I booked it, of course. But I think that was kind of the wonderful marriage, I guess, of me and Toph, was that some of her definitely already kind of existed in me and how I talk and think and all that. So
Awesome. And with like the Avatar network and everything going, and Toph being such a fan favorite, who would you like to see like a spin-off podcast series or something? Who would you like to team up with the most?
Mako, just kidding. I wish. I mean, I know they're doing, they're kind of they're supposedly, according to Avatar Studios, going to do like a spin-off series. I think they have 3 animated movies based off of like specific characters. Everybody wants to know more about like Zuko and Zuko's mom. I feel like that's like no question. Suki's getting more love and attention, which is awesome. I'd love to follow Ty Lee a bit more. I always say like Ty Lee and Uncle Iroh are kind of my faves, just because Uncle Iroh is like everybody's grandfather. And then Ty Lee, she moves around so much, and she's a circus freak or whatever. So I love trapeze and like aerial silks and stuff like that. And I've moved a ton in my life. So I feel like Ty Lee and I would kind of be similar. It's Toph and Ty Lee is kind of a mix of those two, or who I am in real life, which is a little confusing. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't want to see all. Pretty much, I'd watch everything. I'd see it.
I feel like everybody's kind of on that page, like whatever it is, we'll watch it.
Just you don't have to like give us like if you know. It's more of if you know. You don't have to tell us the answer, but like if you know the answer, kind of question.
Okay.
Do you know the fathers of Toph's kids?
So many people ask this. Nobody knows. I mean, even when people, I mean, I feel like Mike and Brian might not have even fully answered themselves in one sense, because there's just no real clue. It's not like they sent us all an email being like, here are all the secrets to Avatar, if you're wondering. So no, I have just as good of a guess as everybody else, that, maybe it's some random person for Lin, and that it ended up being Sokka for Suyin, who knows. But it's it's tough, and everybody grows up and things happen, so anything is a possibility for sure.
Just kind of a final question, kind of wrap things up. For Hyype Space, a lot of there's, as active as social media is, there's still a lot of kind of people kind of hesitant to put themselves out there. What would your recommendation be, and to kind of get them to jump in on Hyype Space?
I think I mean, I know that this sounds easier, said than done, but it's kind of one of the safer and I guess less, I don't know, super public forums, since it's so new, and since it's literally created to be a safe space. Like every challenge is vetted, comments are vetted. There aren't even comments. That's on purpose, because they just don't want it to be at all an unsafe space. So you can only do claps or thunderous applause on your videos. There's not like a down button or anything like that. So only positive things can come from you uploading something, and that's kind of nice. And knowing that it's supposed to be an encouraging space for you to put yourself out there, come up with a new idea. If you think it's a little funny or weird, doesn't matter. This is exactly the space for it. So that was another reason why I was kind of drawn to it, just because it is purely a positive space where the only thing you can do to interact with all of these submissions is clap for them. That's it. So you can just be like, yay, this one's cool. Yay, this one's cool. And just press the little clap buttons on the videos that you like. So yeah, I would say that the only thing that can come from it is positive reaction and reinforcement. So hopefully that's encouragement for anybody who's maybe a little nervous about like participating. Hopefully that's a good sign to do it.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for sharing about Hyype Space, talking about Toph. Yeah, it was great time. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It was so nice to meet you. And yeah, I think you can download it on the App Store and Google Play. And I think it's in the US right now, and we're working on expanding. So.
Oh, and what is the last day to submit for the spooky challenge?
Oh yes, if you would like to submit to the Spooky Spirit Challenge, it's through Halloween, so you can go until I think it's 11:59 p.m. on Halloween night. So anything that happens this weekend or on Halloween day, feel free to just share it and submit to the challenge. Only good things can happen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michaela.
Of course, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.